Hello, and welcome to the ServiceNow Platform Overview Training. Today, we're going to talk to you about platform introduction, how to personalize your view, how to create records, organize your records, search and filter, additional features, and our objectives are going to be how to access and describe the basic components and functions of the ServiceNow landing page, distinguish between fields, forms, and lists and their respective elements, perform basic navigation, searching, filtering, and record creation within the platform. We'll start with the platform introduction. ServiceNow uses service automation. It automates common practices like approvals, task assignments, and customer communications. This is through collaboration, knowledge management, and notifications. We'll use the ServiceNow platform to accelerate decision-making, task resolution, problem solving, whether responding to a customer, engaging with a partner, or supporting an employee. Here you see the landing page. When you log in, you'll see a similar page, what's presented here. All landing pages contain three sections: a banner frame. The banner contains important tools and settings that apply to your platform. The application navigator. The components of the application navigator, which is the panel on the left side, are determined by your assigned role. The application navigator may be expanded, as shown above, or collapsed. There's also the content frame. The content frame initially displays a home page that is made up of charts, lists, and scrolling news. Here you have the banner. The banner contains several key functions and features. Your logo in the top left-hand corner, which also navigates you back to your home page when you click it. Information about the logged-in user. Click the down arrow to the right of the username to view the user profile or to log out. Click the magnifying glass to expand the global search toolbar. Use this to search across all data in ServiceNow, such as keyword, record number, or more. Toggle on and off the Connect sidebar, a tool used to communicate with other users in real time. Get help, including product documentation and new features, and also personalize your system settings. The information that displays within the content frame varies depending on where you navigate within the platform. This could also impact on how the information is visually represented. Some of the most common types of content interfaces include home pages, lists, forms, dashboards, maps, and timelines. This training contains additional information on home pages, lists, and forms. The application navigator is a list of available applications and their corresponding modules. Applications contain one or more modules which group together related information and functionality. Modules can contain links to a new record, list of records with varying filters applied, and special visual tools. To view all applications within the Application Navigator, ensure that All Applications icon is selected at the top left of the Application Navigator. Note, the Application Navigator can also be collapsed to show a limited view of applications in the module or record. The view above shows the expanded Application Navigator. To search quickly through your Application Navigator to view a particular application or module, use the Filter Navigator. The Filter Navigator is located at the top of the Application Navigator. As soon as you begin typing, the Application Navigator displays only applications and modules matching your keyword. In this example, typing incident into the Application Navigator, Filter narrows displayed applications and modules to all modules containing the keyword incident, such as the watch list incident module, or all modules within an application that contains the keyword incident, such as the NCDOT application and all its modules, even though the modules themselves do not contain the keyword. So now let's take a look at ServiceNow. Here we see the banner at the top, and here's my profile, my username. I can see my profile, or I can log out. I'm able to search. I can toggle. I can get to the user guide information or search for documentation. I'm able to change some of my settings, change my theme. Here's the Filter Navigator. I'm able to expand or collapse. And if I put in a specific word, I can filter out to get to NCDOT incident and everything that is in that module. Now we'll talk about how to personalize your view. Your home page appears in the content frame of the landing page. You access the home page at any time by clicking your company logo in the banner. You can personalize your home page to quickly view your preferred metrics when you log into ServiceNow. These metrics may include lists, scrolling news, reports, and more. Click any of the bars or widgets in a chart to open a list showing these records. From a homepage list, clicking any item may display a particular form, a knowledge article, or other information. Depending on your role, you may be able to customize your homepage, view, and even create multiple homepages for different purposes. Access available homepages by selecting from a list of the top left corner of your homepage. To modify existing homepages, add click Contact or plus button to design a homepage from scratch. You can also reorganize content simply by dragging and dropping the widgets or by selecting Change Layout. To personalize your application navigator or by adding the applications and modules you use the most as favorites. You can create a favorite from an individual module or an entire application, including its modules. To add a favorite, hover over the module or application in the Application Navigator and click the star that appears on the right-hand side of the application or module name. To view your list of favorites, click the star at the top of the application navigator to view the list of favorites. If you add an application as a favorite, only the application icon appears by default in your favorite list. To view all the modules within that application, click the application name. You can remove a favorite by clicking the minus icon to the right of the favorite name to edit the details about the favorite, such as the icon. Click the pencil on the icon at the bottom right hand of the application navigator. You can change the name and appearance of your favorites. To edit a favorite, expand your application navigator and click the Favorites star tab to the right of your favorites list. Click the pencil icon at the bottom right of the application navigator. Click any favorite to open the Set Up Your Favorites window at the right. Optionally, you can rename your favorite, change the icon color, and change the icon appearance. To close the setup panel, click Done. You can collapse your application navigator to expand your content frame area. The collapsed navigator also displays favorites, as well as a link to the filter navigator to quickly search through all applications and modules. To expand or collapse your application navigator, click the circled arrow icon at the bottom left of your application navigator. Let's take a look at this. So we'll go back here, and I'll go under, I'll go under Incident. And I want to make Resolve my favorite. So I'll go here to the star and click on that. And now I've made this my favorite. So I'll go here under where my favorites are, and I'll see here is one of my favorites. I'm going to go to the pencil. Now let's take a look at this. So here we have all of our modules, and I'm going to use Incident. I'm going to pick Resolved as my favorite. So here you see the star to the right, so I'm going to click on the star. And this now will show up here under my favorites. So here it is, Resolved, it's my favorite. So now I'm going to click on the pencil so I can edit it. I can rename it. I can change the color. And then I can pick whatever icon I want to go with that. So for this example, I'll pick a house. It's now here, you see it's changed it to a house, it's changed the color, and I'm done. So I'm going to click Done. And here it is. Now, if I decide later on I don't want this to be a favorite anymore, I can simply go here to the negative icon and delete it. Now we'll move on to how to create records. Data in ServiceNow is entered into individual fields which are displayed on a form. Once saved, these forms make up lists. A list is typically comprised of forms with a common theme, such as a record type, an assignment group, or a priority. You can then sort or search these lists to locate a particular form which contains data in its fields. ServiceNow often uses the term record to describe all the data saved within a particular form. The form is simply the way that the user can view and modify that record. There are multiple ways to open a new form depending on the record type. Many applications have a module called Create New. Clicking on the Create New module opens a new form which, upon saving, enters a record into the ServiceNow database. The record type is determined by the application. For example, the Reports Create New module opens a new report form. From any DOT calls list view, click New. You may also be able to open a new form by clicking New button at the top of some related list found within an existing form. The record type corresponds to the record type of the list. Forms are often displayed in the content frame and display multiple fields. The gray bar along the top of the form is called the form title bar and contains form tools as well as information about the type of form identified in the top left-hand corner of the form. Gray fields on the form are read-only, meaning values are system-generated and cannot be edited by the user. Asterisks beside the form indicate that they are mandatory. A red asterisk marks a mandatory field that has not yet been completed. A gray asterisk marks a mandatory field that has been completed. Each form is identified by a unique system-generated ID, which is found in the number field and searchable in ServiceNow. To save or update data on a form, you can click either the Save, Submit, or Update button. You cannot save data on a form until all the mandatory fields are completed. If you try to navigate away from an unsaved form, the system displays a pop-up warning. Save is used at any time to save data on a form and remain on that form. This is used if you plan to continue working on that record immediately. Submit is used to save data for the first time on the form and return to the previous screen. This is useful if you're either temporarily or permanently finished working on this record. The Submit button becomes Update after the first save. The Update button also saves the data on the form and returns you to a previous screen. Attach additional documentation such as emails, spreadsheets, screenshots, and documents to your record. To attach attachments, click the paperclip icon on the form title bar and choose your file. You can attach multiple documents including this method. Alternately, you can simply drag and drop documents from your desktop onto the form and add attachments. To remove a saved attachment, click the paperclip icon or Manage Attachments, select the document to remove and select Remove. The default size limit for attachment is 1 gig. However, this may be changed by your system administrator. You may see certain fields on your form that have magnifying glass to the right of the blank space. These are known as reference fields because you must refer to an existing form in this field. To view the list available reference values, click the magnifying glass. A list of records opens up that corresponds to that particular reference field. Select the desired record by clicking on the underlying value in the first column. Once selected, the referenced value appears on the reference field. This selected value actually refers to another form which you can access by clicking the reference icon to the right of the value field, then selecting Open Record. If you don't have an open magnifying glass to search for your reference value, if you already know what you're looking for, simply begin typing the value in the reference field and select from the resulting list. Certain reference fields allow you to add more than one value to the field. These fields are identified by a lock icon, which indicates that you can expand the field and one or more values and collapse the field with your newly added values to this functionality. Click the lock icon to expand the field. Using the reference field, type or browse the select value. Repeat this process as many times as necessary to find the select all values you want to add. You may also be able to manually enter additional values such as email addresses or groups. Once you have added the desired values, click the lock icon again, collapse the field with your added values. Let's look at what we've just talked about. So everything that we do begins with a call record. I'll start here by searching call and go to a new call record. So you'll see that the red asterisks are the mandatory asterisks. There's the search icon. Here I would put in the caller name, so I have a couple of choices here. I can click and it will bring up all of the callers and I can search here. I place Kim and hit enter and it pulls up all the Kims. I can manually type in until I find who I'm looking for, put the information in that way. Then you can attach files here. So you would go in and choose your files the same as you would attaching in other applications. I would search location. There's a couple of ways to do this. You can search by city. It would pull up all the locations in Raleigh at this time. Or again, you can search. At this point, it pulls up a tree picker. You're able to scroll through. And once you get to here, it pulls up all the cities. And at this point, you would be able to pick which location you would like. And then you'll pick your call type from here. But just for reference of what we talked about, once you enter the mandatory information, the field goes gray because you have completed that information. And then you have your submit button. So once you're complete with what your requests or mandatory items are, you are complete with your record here and you're able to submit. If you wanted to stay on this page and you didn't want to leave, you are able to save the page at this point right here, and it would not take you to the next step. Now we'll talk about how to organize records. Within most applications, you'll find one or more modules that open a list of records. The records contained in these lists are actually typically filtered by the type of record or on data contained within the record. Modules contain saved filters that cannot be modified, although the records contained within the selected list may change depending on current data in ServiceNow. Remember, a record is viewed or created using a form. The data in this form fields are part of the record. Each row on the list represents a record. To access the corresponding form, simply click the record number. This is typically displayed underlying the first column. Each list is made up of records from a particular record type, such as task, incident, users, HR cases, etc. The record type is displayed on the top left corner of the list. You are able to filter, sort, and search in lists to locate and organize your records. Each list row represents one record, which can be viewed as a form. Click the record number to open the form. Each column represents one field on a particular form. At the bottom of the list, you can specify how many records to view in one page and navigate between pages. The previous slide showed us a basic grid layout for your list. You can also select Split View at the top of the page, any list to view list records while the list itself remains visible. The list of records appears on the left-hand panel. Click any record in the list to open the form in the right-hand panel. This feature allows you to quickly navigate between forms in your content frame without having to return to the list. You can personalize the appearance of your list and its contents. On the previous slide, you learned that each column header in a list corresponds to a field value on your record. You can choose which column header and therefore which field values to review in your list. From the List Context menu, select Personalize List Columns. A pop-up opens, allowing you to check and select available fields and move them to selected lists. The fields displayed as columns in your list. Drag and select fields up and down to move the columns left and right. Column personalization is specific to record type. For example, if you personalize your column headers on a list of incidents, the changes would not apply to the list of problems tasks. Remember, you can identify the record type in the upper left-hand corner of any list. You can sort by column values. You can do this alphabetically by selecting an option from the column control menu. This is also applicable to numerical columns, such as the record number. Once a column has been sorted, the column header appears in blue text with an arrow indicating the sort order, A to Z or Z to A. Click the arrow to reverse the sort order. Use the Group By feature to quickly organize the records in your list by matching field values from selected columns. To begin, identify the column whose value you want to group by. For example, You might want to view all incidents by priority values or task by task type. Click the column context menu on the left to select column name and select group by option. After grouping by column values, you see the records your lists are now grouped together based on matching values. This is why you would want to group a column with a smaller number of possible values, such as priority or task type, as opposed to a column with many unique values, such as number or short description. You also see group by menu to the left of your list, which you can also toggle on and off. This menu allows you to quickly view how many records fall into each group and jump these values into your list. To narrow down the list of records to only specific groups, check and uncheck the boxes to the left of the group value. You can also view the breakdown of records in pie or bar chart. To ungroup your list, simply click the Ungroup button on the bottom of the Group By menu. You can quickly locate all work assigned to your group or specifically in ServiceNow. When you active task, which might include work such as incidents, problems, change, and more, as routed to your group, it can be located under Service Desk My Group's Work module. From there, a group member or manager may assign the task to an individual within the group. At that point, locate active tasks specifically assigned to you under Service Desk My Work. Okay, so let's take a look at what we've discussed here. Here we are, we're at the home page. And I'm gonna go to incidents, and I'm gonna go to all of the open incidents that we have right now. And this is what the grid looks like. So you have your incident here and the category, priority, those types of things. Now, if I wanted to look at it in the split view, I simply click right here on split. And here are all the incidents. And it just gives a side by side. So if I wanted to look at this one, I just click on this incident and it pulls it up here. So it's a real quick way of just being able to go from one to the other and being able to manage it that way. So I'll go back to grid here and show you. So we'll just go to category here. I'm going to right click on there and you can see I'm able to sort it from A to Z, from C to A. I can group it by category. I could make a bar chart out of this specific one, a pie chart, visual task board. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But and then let's just say I wanted something besides number, category, priority, incident state, short description. Maybe there's another field I want in here. So I'm going to right click on that and I'm going to personalize my list columns. So these are the ones that I've personally selected for myself. There is a standard that it comes with, but you can add or select whatever columns you would like. There's a large list here of options for you to choose from, but let's just say for right now, I want to know who the caller is that's associated with these incidents. So I'm going to choose caller, and you'll see right here it populates under what I've selected, and I'm going to save it. And there's my new column right here, and it shows who the caller is for all of the incidents. And let's just say that I decide I don't need that column anymore. I'll go back here and X that out, save it, and the column is gone. So those are the things that we just discussed. So we'll move on now and talk about how to search and filter. To quickly locate a record, enter a record number in the global search bar in the banner and press enter. This will take you directly to the form. If you only know part of the number, you see at least a list of matching records broken down by form type. You can also use the global search for keywords such as a username, a knowledge article topic, a short description, and more. The history in your tab application navigator contains a scrolling list of your recent history with ServiceNow broken down by the approximate time frame. This might include, for example, forms you were filling out, lists you were searching, and home pages you were viewing. You can click to open any recent activity in your content frame. Search for text at the top of your list to search for keywords across the entire list. This search yields results across all columns for all the keywords you enter in no particular order. To search for an exact phrase, you must drill down to search in a specific column, which is discussed in the following slide. To search for words, partial words, or entire phrases within a specific column, click the magnifying glass to the left of the column headers to open a search field at the top of each column. When you enter a search term in one of these boxes, you are searching only through the values in that particular column. For example, if you wanted to search for a particular record using the number, make sure you are searching within the number column of the list. If you already see the value you're searching for in the list, you can easily search for records containing the same field value or even exclude those records. Right-click the desired value and select Show Matching or Filtered Out. This slide depicts wildcards that can be used for advanced list searches. Put an asterisk before a search term to bring back any results that contain your search term. This wildcard can also be used when searching for a value in a reference field. Put an equal sign before a search term to bring back the exact results for a word or phrase. Put a percent sign at the end of a search term to bring back results with the start with for your search term. Put a percent sign before a search term to bring back the results with the end with your search term. This is commonly used to locate records by the form number. Combine an exclamation point with any other wildcard to bring back results that exclude your search term. Filters allow you to specify exactly what your records you want to see within a selected list. For example, you might start with a list of all incidents, but filter out those records to view only active incidents assigned to you. To view the filter applied to a list, click the funnel icon at the top left of the list. Here you can add, remove, or edit filter contents and rerun or save your filter. The filter contents applied to the list are summarized in the breadcrumbs shown at the black letters across the top of the list. Not only do the breadcrumbs provide an at-a-glance view of the filter conditions, But you can also modify conditions and save your filter as a favorite directly from the breadcrumbs. Click Run to see the results of your filter displayed. To save a filter, click Save Filter. A new field will appear when you can name your filter. After naming the filter, click the Save button to the right of Naming Field. The new filter will be available by selecting Load Filter. In the previous slide, we learned how conditions are applied to lists to the filter. The record appears in that list. Now let's explore the filter conditions in more detail. Filter a list by specifying three components of a filter condition. From the alphabetical list, select the field whose values you want to filter. You can filter on any field that appears on the form in the question, even if that field does not appear as a column header in your list. Remember, you can personalize which column the headers are visible. Next, select the operator that will connect your select field and search value. For example, are you looking for an exact match to your search item? Anything that contains your search term or any value where it's not empty. Finally, select a specific search value on which you want the filter to list. Depending on the selected field, you might be prompted to select a value from a drop-down list. Once you create a custom filter, you may want to save those conditions to quickly access your filtered list in the future. There are two ways to save this custom filter. Click Save Filter above the filter conditions and name your custom filter. When you want to reapply this filter, click Load Filter and select your filter name. In order to load the saved filter, you must be in a list of the same record type from which you originally created the filter. For example, if you created a saved filter on the list of incidents, the saved filter will only be visible when viewing a list of incidents as opposed to a list of requests or changes. You can also add your filtered list as a favorite by dragging and dropping your breadcrumbs onto the application navigator. You can edit this favorite by creating a custom name for your filter. Anytime you click on this favorite, you're taken to a refreshed custom list. This slide provides an introduction to advanced filter functionality. When building a filter condition, you can drill down into a field on a reference record within your form, as opposed to a field of your form itself. For example, assume you're building a filter condition for records that contain the Assigned To field. However, you're interested not in the Assigned To field value itself, which would be a user name, but rather the location of that user. The location information is actually found on the user record. So you can click on the arrow beside the Assigned To value in the condition builder to drill down to the fields on the user record. You can continue to drill down within the reference field, for example, to the city field, which is located not on the user record, but on the location record. Ultimately, this filter condition is now looking for values within the original record, Assigned To location city field. The related list condition builder allows you to filter on the records that have selected number or specified related records linked to them, with the optional conditions applied. For example, you might want to filter only records that have open tasks in the related list at the bottom of the form. Click the blue default greater than or equal to link to specify how many related records your results should have. Optionally, you can add filter conditions that apply to the related records, such as only records that have related tasks that are in the open state or are assigned to you. The example in the number 2 shows a filter for records that have 5 or more designated approvers, which appear in the related list at the bottom of the form, that are in the requested state. In the previous slide, we learned how you can quickly sort in a single column value. By clicking the Add Sort button in the Condition Builder, you can designate additional nested sort levels within your list results. For example, in the number 3, the record will first be sorted by priority, within the highest priority records appearing first. Within each priority, the records will then be sorted alphabetically by the assignment group. Okay, let's take a look at what we've been talking about here. So let's take a look at what we've been talking about here. Here we are. We'll start from the home page. I'm going to go back to my open incident. And here you can see you can search here. So I'll show you. Let's just say I want to look for an incident. I'm going to search for this one here, the 1394. Let's just say that's, I know my incident number. So I'm going to put in 1394, hit enter, and there's my incident. I can click on that from there, and I have my incident here. Now, remember, you can search by column. So if I click on the magnifying glass, the search bars open under each column that I have. So I can search by, let's just say I want to see all of the moderate priority at this time. So I'll put in the 3 for the priority, hit enter, and all of my moderate tickets will populate at this time. And you can do that for each category, whichever, or each column, whatever you want to search by. And here is the breadcrumb that we discussed earlier with the filter. So you are able to see at this time, my filter is active and true with a priority of moderate, because I put in the search for the moderate. So we'll click on the filter here. We see the filter condition is active, is true, with priority is of at least one of these, which is critical, high, or moderate, which it's moderate. So let's add some new criteria to this. So maybe I want to see, let's just see how many of these were closed. How many priority of moderate were closed yesterday? And we'll run this. And you see here are the incidents that were moderate, that were closed, meeting this criteria. If I really liked this report and I wanted to see it throughout the day or the next day or however often I wanted to run this report, I would save it. I would save my filter. I could name it, and I could make its visibility as only to me, and then I would have it whenever I wanted to run this report. That is what we just looked at. Now we'll discuss additional features. Imagine a scenario in which you have a critical issue documented in a priority 1 record. Multiple stakeholders may need to view and update the record simultaneously. The presence feature facilitates that collaboration, showing you who is viewing the record, displaying the record active stream, even allowing you to customize notifications alerting you to record updates. The number of active viewers is listed in the form title bar. Note, if you do not see this icon, you're the only viewer on this record. So you would click for a list of viewers. The use of visual task boards to create your own personal to-do list, collaborate in real time with group members on assignments, and more. Displayed graphically as lanes and cards, visual task boards provide a landing page to view and organize all of your work in ServiceNow. There are 3 types of visual task boards: freeform, flexible, and guided boards. Use freeform boards as your personal organizer, creating individual tasks of any kind and freely adding, removing, and modifying cards and lanes. Alternately, use a guided board, which is created from a list and uses a field value as lanes. Records in that list, which appear as cards, are actually modified when you edit cards or change lanes in guided boards. Flexible boards are also created from a list, but lane changes do not update underlying task data. Flexible and guided boards are categorized under data-driven boards when you are creating visual task boards. To get started with a visual task board, navigate to Self-Service Visual Task Boards and follow the instructions for creating a board. The Reports application will allow you to geographically view and analyze data from your ServiceNow environment. Reports can take many forms, including bar charts, pie charts, styles, lists, pivot tables, donuts, and more. Reports can be manually or scheduled to be run automatically. Many reports, including key performance indicator reports, are preloaded in ServiceNow for your use. You can also create new reports by navigating to the Reports You Run module. Alternately, you can simply click most column control menus in any list to generate a report directly from data in that list. ServiceNow reports are interactive, so you can drill down into the report gauges to view and manipulate the underlying data. For more information, navigate to Reports Getting Started. You can set your own notification preferences, including personal subscriptions and channels devices for receiving them. You can set these preferences through the Notifications tab on the System Settings windows. With Notifications tab, you can use a global switch to enable or disable all of your notifications, enable or disable particular channels for receiving notifications, as well as edit, create, or delete channels. For example, you can specify that you should receive notifications both as emails to your work email address and your mobile phone. Control the notifications that you receive and apply conditions to restrict notification delivery. For example, you can turn on and off notifications for specific triggers or specify which channels should receive these notifications. You can create notifications which are subscriptions to notifications that are important to you. And that completes our training for ServiceNow Platform Overview. We thank you for your time today, and we look forward to talking with you soon. Thank you very much.